welcome to another video. In this video, I thought I would try and finish finally the FrankenSTEin. You know, the Atari ST case with the Raspberry Pi 3 inside it using the Atari keyboard. So because of that, I bought vinyl wrap. And I know I said I thought I might do chrome, but I've actually gone for black carbon. So it looks like this. Now hopefully, I mean this is a 60 centimeter roll in width by 2 meters long. Now hopefully that's going to be enough to cover the whole of that case. Yeah, ignore the Primark bag, it's full of rubbish. I've been cleaning the office out. So let's get started. Alright, so here we are back now. I've got the empty Atari ST case, and I need to fill these ports here. Leave those two. That's going to be the power switch. That's going to be the power. So power switch, power socket, and then these need to be filled in. All these little dibby bits there need to be sanded down. The whole thing is going to be vinyl wrapped in black carbon vinyl. So what I'm going to try and do is let's see if I can put this here. Can I stand something on it so you can see what's going on? This hole I need to try and block, and then see if I can fill it with some cheap epoxy resin. It might work, it might not. I've not tried this before, so I honestly do not know. Now, I had somewhere some tape. Instead, I've got some of this double-sided tape. Now let's see if that'll actually work. It might be a bit big. No, it's going to be a bit big, that. What I can do, something like that to keep it in place. Something like that to keep it in place, maybe. Maybe something like that. And then, I can try maybe something like that. Okay. That seems fairly strong in there. I don't think that's going to pull out. Brilliant. Okay. I need some plastic now to mix the epoxy on. What have I got? Now I do have in here. Ooh. Yes, I can use my little pot there to put my bits and bobs in. Like that. And then that I can use to mix the epoxy. Now, as I say, I've never done this before, so yeah, it's use a spatula, apply thin coat. No, so what it is, how much do I use? Ooh. I'm assuming that's the epoxy, and the other is that on there. Yes, it is on there. Right, what the hell am I going to do now? I've got it. So really, it's over. I should have do that. Oh, that'll do. An old Allen key. So, I get it in there. Whoa, it's very gloopy. Now, can we see down there like that? Can you see that? Oh yes, you can. That's good. So hopefully my hands won't get in the way. If I dip that in there like that. Well, as you look anyway. Any stuff, I would imagine, it goes in the wrong place. We can reuse. Not reuse. Stand off. Sorry. I need to get one of these off camera first, so that's a complete pillar. Oh, doesn't actually. Oh, that is falling to the corners. I thought it would. But yeah, actually, if you're not it's quite good. Now, the other job I have, and that's something nice, is it might stick to the cardboard bag. I think I should range off something. This is just a test of the hole, so I'm not bothered if it works or not, because if it doesn't work, then I'll take the table, but I will learn from mistakes and I'll do something different. It won't really matter. If it goes well, just take one and stand it flat, and then we can back it. Might have to use all of this, you know, to be fair. I'll just use, let's come up, there you go. I'll just use it all. It's going to go for absolutely ages, probably 2 years. There's no one to work anyway. It's going to be yellow, I'm going to yellow. Put it in. That's what I have now. Like that, I can throw that away now. And then maybe, oh, it looks like it's hard. So white, ooh, damn, right. That's one there. So you can come on that, stand up. Right, and now, mix it in. Just a little mix. I really must buy some of the plastics. Right, there we go. That's it, we'll see, look how white it's going now. That's amazing. That's really, really good. Okay. Can you see that camera? Yes, I'll move it down a bit so we can see. Excuse me, I'll move the camera. That's it, right. So I'm going to go. Nice, well, alright, some more resin, but we can because I don't know. Well, come on, actually, away. We're doing it. These 2 holes. It's very sticky. Wow. There. Whoa, that stinks. But there we have it. Those 2 holes now are filled in completely, with the idea that once that resin is set and I take the backing board off, sand it down, and you'll never know that there were holes in there. So I'm going to do that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Leave those 2 spare, and I will also do. Whoa, why is that smoking? Gosh, I think we've got a bit of a reaction there somehow. Wow, that isn't good. I've never seen that before. So there's a lot of air in it. Well, you see, it's very hot. Wow. I didn't know. Well, of course it will, because it's a catalytic reaction, isn't it? Okay, but that's going really solid now. Yeah, already. Wow. So now I can put that, I think, on there like that. And then zoom in if possible and show you the mess I've made. But this now will carve off with a knife and a file and be nice and flat by the time I've finished. And then in the next few days or so I'll go and get some more epoxy and fill those holes in. Don't know about the floppy drive. I think I might fill that in, but I'm going to leave the cartridge port. I'm going to leave here the cartridge port and the 2 MIDI ports. I'm going to leave those open just because. Okay, jump cut now and then back soon. Okay, so it's been about, whoa, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours I want to say, and this is now, I mean, it's not the flattest in the world, but it's actually solid. So what I can do is I can fill those in with tiny bits of epoxy when I go and get some from the shop later on, and that'll be nice and flat. But I'm thinking that maybe what I need to do is put the cardboard on the outside and then leave the scrotty bits on the inside, because you can see there on the outside, on the inside from last time, it's nice and thin and flat. So if I can do that, that might make it a bit easier. Anyway, it's looking quite good, that. I think that isn't a bad, it's not a bad do, that, for a first attempt. Let's try something else. Okay guys, so while the base is curing, I do need to go and buy some more epoxy to fill all the gaps in, but it's looking quite sweet. I thought I would do a carbon wrap of the top case. Now, as you can see here, where's my finger there, I bought 60 centimetres by 200 centimetres of this black carbon wrap. Now it might look sweet, it might look naff, but we'll try it anyway. So it's too long for this, which is great, so that means I'm going to get loads more out. So I could do it that way, or I could technically do it that way, but there might still not be enough. Oh, there might be. Wow, that's quite good. Oh, there's enough to do it that way as well. Look at that. That is amazing. Amazing. Right. Now, the only room I've got with a floor space flat enough and big enough is the ensuite. So apologies for that, and apologies for the echoing because the room's not got carpet. But I think what I need to do now is chop it maybe there. So I'll get my, in fact I'll do it on there, on that line there. So I'll get my scissors and I'll cut it out and I'll be right back. Right guys, just because you've got an ensuite floor that is big enough doesn't necessarily mean it's clean enough. Doesn't mean it's clean enough to put your vinyl wrap down. Now, it's also, yeah, creased, but I'm thinking that the creasing is fine because of the way that this works. So if I've got that there, like so, can you see that on camera? Oh, you can. Excellent. Right. So, there's not really, that has to go up there, there's just enough. That has to go up there, it can probably go a bit further that way. Now, have I got a pencil? I haven't. Oh, I thought I had. Well, I've got a pen. So what I can do, I can mark there, mark there, mark there, mark there, do that, that, that. Oh, I found my pencil for it. And that there. Right, right. So what I need to do now is I need to lay this out flat with some gloves on, and then stick that bottom bit down, pull it. I've got my wife's old hairdryer. See if I can make that nice and hot. I will plug my soldering iron and I'll plug this in and we'll just check and see if it works. So I'm hoping it does. Oh, blimey, that's hot. Right, I'm going to try and do the top of this now, off camera, just to see whether I can do it, because I don't want you to laugh at me if I can't. Back in a minute and I'll show you my results. Right, guys. Yes, okay, so it is quite a success. It seems fairly easy to do. I've got my little credit card size sort of spludger thing. I got this from a smartphone screen. You know, when you replace them, and I've also got here, look at that, there's a hair. I've got my scalpel, which I'm now going to cut this corner. I think, just let me see whether or not I can actually pull it up without ruining the side. Now, I think I might have to cut just about there, maybe. Just there like that. And I'm going to say just there like that. Now, the great thing is the hairdryer works fantastic, as you'll see in a minute. So you have to pull the edge up and then slice that like so. And I want to try and get the cleanest edge possible, which looks to be like so. Right, so I think if we split that down the centre, take that. Alright guys, now, the top, I've finally done it. I mean, it took a while, it took about an hour and a half, but for a first attempt, there's a tiny little bit there that doesn't want to stay down. Maybe we just take that off then in that case. There we go, look at that. Okay, that's better. Yep, there we go. So, what I want to do now is put the original base down with the two bits that I've covered up and see if it fits. Well, it does. Oh, look at that. There's a tiny bit there. Oh, blimey, look at that. Damn. Okay, and then there we go. Done. Right, I'll get my keyboard and we'll just check that. So let's see what this looks like with the keyboard in place, shall we? Now, bearing in mind that this is the first time I've ever tried to do a vinyl wrap, see there's a bit there. Just let me fertile with it for a bit. Wow. Look at that. Well, I suppose there's a few dangly bits there that need heating up again and just smoothing out, but for a first attempt I think that is pretty damn good.
CPLDA.